Alright guys, this is John with Louisiana Tractor Works and Projects. In today's video, I got something super exciting to show y'all. I am excited about this. I've been waiting for this to come in, so I'm glad to show this to y'all. But before we go there, this is our 99th video. And thanks to y'all, we are quickly coming in on 100 videos. Our 100th video, we have a huge surprise for y'all. Big surprise. So I want y'all to make sure you catch that 100 video. Alright? So let me show y'all what we got this time. Alright guys, so what you're looking at here is a skid plate for the Massey Fergusons. Okay? This skid plate is made by Mark Beyerl, the same guy who made my step, which is awesome. Love it. Wife loves it. So, same guy who made the step, which if you got a problem getting up on your tractor and that, you want to look into this. Alright? Made a skid plate. Now, it is a 3-piece skid plate, and there's several reasons for that. And when I install it, you'll see. This skid plate does more than just protect the oil filter and the fan. Mark really stepped out on this. He also designed it in such a way that it protects your PTO underneath there. So, in a lot of the comments and that, and on Facebook, a lot of posting, people have not snapped that mid-mount PTO all the way on, and it has come loose, and it slung it, and it went through that and just ripped all kinds of stuff off. Well, Mark added a shield to protect your tractor in case that ever happens. Whether it didn't snap on all the way, or whether the yoke comes apart, whatever the case may be, if it slings that mid-mount PTO, it's shielded. So that's why it's 3 pieces. And let me tell you something. This is the smallest of the 3 pieces. This is an 1/8 inch high quality steel. This thing weighs, all right? I was shocked at the weight of each piece when I took it out the box. This is solid. You will have a hard time. I mean, you'd have to hit something more than just sticks and limbs and stuff to damage this skid plate, okay? So we're gonna get this installed in the tractor today and let y'all see what it looks like. Okay, so we're gonna go over a couple of things first. Okay, right now, this skid plate for the older models, Massey's, there is the 2016s in that, of the 1710, 1705, 1710, 1715, 1720. They had a little bitty oil filter guard on it, all right? So that, if you have that model, that can stay on, Mark tells me, and you can apply this on. There's a couple of great things about this skid plate, all right? One, it protects your fan, oil filter. It allows air. Plenty of airflow, so we're not burning up no hydraulic pumps. We're not burning up the rear ends. Plenty of airflow. It protects all that. It also has a PTO Guard on it. You know, so he's given a whole line of protection here for underneath your tractor. And the biggest thing is there's enough room when you assemble this thing. There's enough room to put your PTO on and off without ever removing this. So once you install this, the only time you have to remove it is when you go to do your oil filter change. And it's not all the way. You just got to take out a couple of bolts, 3 of the 5 bolts that come with it, he told me, and you should be able to access your oil filter. So that's not bad. I like the convenience of it being on there and staying on, and you never have to take it off, especially to do your PTO. The bad news is right now, this particular guard will not fit the new style Massey's. So if you got the new style where they moved the controller to the fender for the front end loader, it's not going to fit that one. But he has one coming for them tractors. So be patient. You guys will be protected too. So he has one in the works right now. Now he has got this all geared up and ready to go. He can take orders immediately on these things. All right, guys? So I will put a link in the description for his website where you can go and order these if you want to order them. I highly advise protecting your tractor. Now, it just makes smart sense. The damage that can be done when you lose that fan or have the oil filter knocked off, the money it can cost you, it's a small fortune. Protection this adds to your tractor, and the potential money that you could spend from damage that this will prevent makes this worth a lot of money. A lot of money, and it's worth every penny of it. Now, Mark said it's fairly simple, fairly easy. My tractor comes with this U-bracket like this, a factory one, similar to this. We're going to remove that, take it out of the way. This is going to go in that U-bracket, factory U-bracket place. And then these pieces attached to this. So, yeah, let's get this installed and see what it looks like. And let's guarantee the protection of my tractor. All right, guys, y'all need to keep this quiet, but I'm using the wife's new tool set. So, but don't tell her. All right, guys, so we got to pull this one off. This is a factory U on my model. Now, like I said, on the other models, they have, the older ones, they have just a little shield that bolts up right here around the guard. It comes out about yay far. So, yeah, and Mark said you can leave that on. You don't have to remove it. But on this model, you do have to remove this because he has a replacement piece for it. All right, and then, of course, I got to remove the shield that my dealer put on here. Take it off. So these are 12 millimeter bolts right here. Okay, the bolts that Mark sends with the skid plate and that is 9/16 nylock nuts and 9/16 bolts. So you're going to need a 9/16 socket and wrench for them. But 12 millimeter for these right here on the factory ones. So let's get this pulled off. Let's get this pulled off and let's get this skid plate installed in this thing. Ain't nothing like brand new tools. The only thing better than that is brand new tractor. Or car. On this side, guys, you're going to have to do it with a wrench. Because of the cable for the brakes, I believe that's the brake. Might be diff lock. You can't get in there with a ratchet. Alright, I'm going to put my bolts back in here. Not that I will never ever need this again, but you never know. Let me get it in and then I'll show y'all where she lines up. Back to here. Right there. Come back here, you. Fingers are full of dust. Alright, now let me go to the other side. This one's going to be a bit trickier because of the hoses and the wiring. Alright guys, let me bring y'all in here. Okay, so on this dust shield, on this skid plate, on this my model style, if you got that plate like this, that U-bracket, okay, you don't go to where the factory bolted up, right here and right here. You're actually going up, and if you look, there's a recess right here in the frame, and you go through that, and that's what it lines up to. So it goes to the inside and it slides up. Now, because of the wiring harness and this tube, it's a little tricky to get to up in there. All right. So one is you're going to have to use the socket to start it on the frame side over here, because you can't get your fingers in there. Now, I'll show you on this side. That's where she's at. So that one was real easy to stab. Again, it goes up through the frame in the same location, just on the opposite side. But because of this tube and because of wiring loom, this one's a little bit of a trick. But it's not impossible. Patient, and you'll get it, no problem. All right, guys, so I got this one locked in. So now we're going to go with this one here. And it sits right here. And then this plate here. And from what Mark's saying, you might want to start this one first, because it's the hardest to get to. In fact, I might slide this out, just get it started out on the ground here. Because once the nut's on it now, you can work with it after that. So let's start this sucker right here. I want to tighten it up. Okay, let's slide these two pieces in. Now, just a little, be cautious sliding it in, but it goes in real easy. And then this plate hits underneath, and this plate sits on top. So the PTO guard sits on top of your U bracket. The shield goes under your U bracket. And then get this bolt in. Actually, what? Yeah, let's get this bolt one stabbed right there. She almost like she locked into place when I moved her just right. Okay, and that one. And I'm going to tilt the boat just a little bit to get the nut started. Make sure you don't cross thread these guys. Alright, got that one started. Now this one being a little bit more touchy, I'm going to come in on the side here. Stab this one. And I'm trying to move my head out the way, guys, so you can see. So I got two fingers on the nut, and I'm going to use the bolt to start it. Turning the bolt instead of the nut. And there we go, and we're started. All right, now then, I guess the first one I'm going to tighten up is this one. And since it's in the back like that, I'm going to use my wrench in this direction so that I can go behind it and snap onto it. There we go. And again, this is all 9/16 or 14 millimeter. 14 millimeter and 9/16 is the same thing. Well, close enough to be the same thing. So let's snug this one up. Should have brought out my air ratchet. It'll heck a lot faster. Okay, I don't want to tighten that one too much just yet. Okay, and then let's go ahead and tighten this one up. When it's sitting like this, so you want to pick it up and hold it in place because you want to make sure your grease cert clears that he notched for, because there is some room for these things to move, and you want to make sure it don't hit nothing and rattle. Ooh, too fast. Whoop, so fast it jumped. I tell you what, I like these new Craftsman ratchets. They are smooth compared to the old style. Okay, I'm liking it so far. Let's go ahead and lock this one down. Okay, now I'll do the same thing. I'm gonna use the curve down and hook that nut on this one through this little corner here. And there we are. Then I'll ratchet this one in. Boy, it's not There we go. Do it like this. So I'm gonna push. I'm not pushing my bolt. My nut point through my box in. Pretty sure of it. Come on now. I'd do it much easier if I went to that side, but then I wouldn't have a camera view. Okay, she's locked down. Wrench off of there. Now we'll go back to this one again. I'm gonna hook it, lock it on a nut, and tighten this one up. All right, and that's her. Now, I mean, you can obviously tackle it however you want, your tractor, but just make sure that your U-bracket, you stab it first, and then maybe like I did, go ahead and start this one with the PTO bracket on it, and then the PTO bracket goes on top of the U-bracket, and your shield goes under the U-bracket, all right? And then start this boat, start that boat, or vice versa, however you find it easier. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, so far, the hardest boat I had to deal with is this one up here for the U-bracket on this side because of the wiring harness and the tube. And it wasn't tightening it. Tightening it was easy. It was just getting it started was where the little trick was. And I had to use just 2 fingers to hold it and get it up there. And then the socket, because it's recessed through the frame, the added frame for the backhoe, to turn the boat itself to get the nut started. So it worked out really great. And Mark did mention that to me. Now, I don't see no place where it can rattle. I will start it up and make sure there's no rattling anywhere because it does have a little bit of adjustment. You can loosen it, swing it a little bit, and then tighten it back down. This boat went real easy on this side of the U-boat. So, yeah. And when you do your oil change, only ones you got to pull is this one, and this one. Well, actually, pull this one, loosen this one, and then slide this whole thing out. The whole assembly right out. Do your oil filter, slide it back in. Again, putting the PTO protector shield on top of your U-bracket and then the skid underneath. One more thing I want to mention while I'm under here. All right, with all these guards and that, you know, even with all these hoses, guys, look, these things are designed to run at a certain RPM to cool that fluid. If you're not running it at the proper RPM to cool your hydraulic fluid, you're on the verge of a burnout, okay? You'll burn up the hydraulic fluid before it's time to change it. It'll get weak. You'll put excess heat on your pumps, and heat kills everything. It shortens its life. So when you're running a shield of any kind, you've got a restriction, airflow restriction. I don't care how many holes they put in it. Other than just being wide open, it's a restriction. So when you're running a shield, you make sure you run this tractor more now than ever at its proper working RPM, or you're going to sacrifice your pumps, you're going to sacrifice your rear end. It's going to kill it way before it's time. So thing I love about Mark, he's added a lot of airflow through this thing, and they're small enough. I mean, these things are probably not even big enough for a pencil to fit in. So they're small enough, but it still allows a lot of air movement, and that's a big thing for me. Air. There's a reason they put a fan on this thing. There's a reason they put a fan on this thing. And from time to time, you're going to need to check underneath there and make sure that you're not filled with trash back here, especially if you're doing a lot of debris removing, and it's blocking that air, and it's causing your transmission to overheat. Mark, again, beautiful. I love it. Let me crank it up while the camera's under here, and let's see if we see any vibration. It's going to get noisy, guys. last the lifetime of this tractor. And now I can bail off into the debris, the sticks, all that stuff, and I am not concerned no more about knocking my oil filter off, breaking the fan blades, any damage anymore. That is no more a headache for me. That I love more than anything, is not having to worry about that. Mark, excellent job. Excellent job. Freaking love it. All right, guys. So this is John with Louisiana Tractor Works and Projects. I'll put a link below in the description for Mark's website where you can order this skid plate. And like I said, he don't have one yet for the new models, the new style, but it is on its way. So y'all be watching for that. Also, our 100th video. Y'all don't forget. You'll want to see our 100th video coming up, guys. Don't want to miss this one. Big. All right. Y'all have a good day or a good blessed weekend, whichever one it is I get this up. Mark, thank you a lot. Another great job. That in the step. Loving it. Loving it. All right. Y'all have a good one.